can't hear you. If you press it, then we can hear you. If you take the little line away. Bottom left.
No, that mute thing's gone, but we still can't hear her.
It's a bad connection, I think.
Maybe have volume.
Right. So,
Hi.
oh, here comes Peg.
Birds.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Hello,
It's
Sue.
all right.
We
The
can.
strange little things coming up. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Right, okay, well, so the first thing that we want to start, and I don't know if Eileen, you could give us
Yes.
When it first came up, which was a couple of years ago, it's a very expensive operation to do it. You know, you're talking thousands of pounds to get that done properly. Because I don't think it's possible just to renew the canvassy bit on it. I think the whole lot would have to come out and a new canopy would have to be done.
I know,
But
that's
it
why I
is,
was thinking it would be, if we had some money left over, this is going to be the only time we'll ever be able to afford a new one.
yes, it should be looked into, I think, because it is pretty awful, that canopy.
It's also dangerous.
Well, we did look into it, as you say, Sue, and what we discovered was that if you wanted one that was going to last, you had to pay a lot of money, but there were a lot of cheap ones available, but then they only lasted like 3 years. So it was a false economy to go for a cheap one.
Mm.
So yeah, we're talking a few £1,000s.
We are.
Well, now's not a bad time to do it then. I mean, because basically we end up leaving it as it is. I mean, and if it's about to fall off, that's surely more of a health hazard than anything else. Yeah.
I think so, yes. I think that's more dangerous than anything.
Yeah. Would Gabriel's Wharf have a preferred person to do it as well? I mean, do they have since they're the landlord?
No, it's like they don't really, you know, I don't think they would be interested.
Okay.
But I think what we decided to do was wait for 3 months and then look at our finances again and then make a decision about how, you know, we'll have a meeting and we'll talk about spend any excess money.
I would certainly prefer to spend £3,000 on a new awning rather than £3,000 giving each member £75.
Same.
It's very, I mean, it's a very useful awning, especially, you know, in the summertime when it decides to rain. If you've got your cards outside and it's under the awning, then they're more or less okay. And various, you know, things like doing, you know, demonstrations and everything, it's useful to have that cover there. And so I think it's one of the most important things to renew on the gallery is the awning.
So is it something you think that we should look into before 3 months has elapsed?
Well, I think having agreed that we were going to review the finances in 3 months, if we're still considering giving this money back to the members, we can't simultaneously agree to spend money on the awning.
Precisely, yes, that's true.
I didn't quite understand.
I'm saying we've just decided to wait 3 months to review whether we give.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Back.
Yeah.
We can't simultaneously be spending, planning to spend £3,000 or £4,000 on an awning.
Yeah.
In 3 months, when we have reviewed the debate about whether or not to give people £75 back, if we decide then not to, maybe that's the point at which we can then definitely look at a new awning.
Maybe someone could look into prices or what in the meantime.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good in the 3 months. In 3 months' time, when we review it, to know how much an awning would cost, so that we could make an informed decision.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's like how long is a piece of string? It depends how much you want to spend.
Well, yeah, but we need to
know
know what the
first,
options are.
we need to have a budget
Yeah.
which we could afford to spend, and we'll get that,
Can you just tell us in the rough parish of what you were looking at 2 years ago? Can you remember how much they cost? Or?
Yeah, between £3,000 and £10,000.
Between 3, and you thought the ones at 3 were not very good?
No, there were cheaper ones, like £999.
No, okay.
They were like plastic and striped, and
So presumably for 5,000 or 3 to 5,000, you could get a reasonably decent awning.
Yeah.
Or we could pay back 75 quid or 100 quid to all of the members. I think that's what Peg's saying, is that it's one or the other.
Yeah.
I know which, well.
Does that include the whole mechanism for,
You can have an electric one for an additional 400. I just did a quick Google search.
Oh, right.
So you can push
That's a
button.
good idea. Oh, excellent. Yes.
I mean, the mechanism is actually the real problem of it. I mean, it doesn't come all the way out now anyway. And they had to fix it so that it didn't, because it would fall down otherwise.
Yeah.
I think it's a fairly easy decision, actually.
Yeah.
3,000 or a new awning. I think we'd get a new awning.
I do, but but not everybody does.
Okay.
Okay, well, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about?
Did you discuss times that I missed when I was trying to get into Zoom? Kevin can't get in either. Maureen, Kevin and Fiona are all emailing. They can't get in.
Kevin was in. Kevin was.
Yes, I saw Kevin.
Oh, right. Oh, well.
Oh, hang on. He's trying to get in. Yeah, I can see him there.
It was in. Yeah, he was
We
in.
did discuss times.
He says,
What's happening with times?
12 till 4, and then Saturdays 10 till 6. And if you want to stay open longer because there's lots of people desperate to buy lots of prints, then we stay open a bit longer. So it's up to the sitter.
Is that forever, or is that for till May, or?
For now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, great.
Yeah, and if we're fully open in June, then we can go back to our own time and we can have a party.
Yeah.
So, any other business? No? Well, that's it then. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to see you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Lovely to see you all.
Yeah, lovely to see you all. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 I was reading Ross's message. I look forward to seeing you again in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
So glad to have a chance to you. Oh,
I'll see you soon.
so I missed that actually. Is she leaving then? Or?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
she's leaving at the end of this month. She just said like change commitments and where's you gone, Jade? Oh, there you are. Oh, look, everybody's leaving and everybody's moving. Change commitments, and Louise is saying she's leaving because her job is taking up more of her time. Louise Hayward. Yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised. She's kind of hinted at it for a couple of years, and then Eileen took over as treasurer from her to give her more time. But I think, it's just that she's like got other things as well that she takes her work to, and you get too busy in the end, don't you? Yes. We just closed. So that's quite a few. Well, 2 leaving at the end of this month. That's Ros and Louise. Yeah. And then Mary's leaving. Well, she sort of handed in her notice, and I said, well, it's 4 months, so that would take you to the end of July. I said if we could find another member sooner, and she wants to leave sooner because it's health reasons with Mary. She already had falls when she was at the gallery, and I can't remember now what the last one was. Did she sprain her wrist or break her wrist or something? And she did that once before. And I just feel that if Mary wants to leave sooner and we've got a replacement already, we might as well let her. But it's just, with the lockdown and everything, people might be rethinking what they want to do, and there might be 1 or 2 other leavers in the near future. Don't know. We'll see.
Mary just had a sale. She just sold something yesterday.
What, online?
Yeah.
Mary's work does sell. It's such a shame she's going.
I know.
And it's like, it's universal. Everybody likes Mary's work. It's a very traditional, going back to like whether we go digital, very traditional etching, got a nice drawn element to it that you would think older people would be drawn to it. But it's lovely when you see young couples coming in and falling over it. And
because she's such a good drawer.
Yeah.
Drawing is so good and spontaneous, and the way she captures things is amazing.
Yeah.
Babies and stuff.
Yeah, I know. And trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the three that are
everyone's been writing all these nice emails to her, and she rang me yesterday about this sale, and she said, "Did you get my email about me leaving?" And I said, "Yes, Mary." So people been writing to you and saying, "I'm so sorry," and she said, "Oh, I haven't read any of them."
Oh no, but I think she doesn't. I think John does just about all of it on the computer.
Oh, right.
I don't think she's she tries, but I don't think she's very good on the computer at all.
Right.
So like with Greenwich, she does how does she do featured out? No, timetable, the rota, but I don't think she does it at all. I think John does it totally. Bless her.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a shame the three that are leaving. It's nice work that's going. But with Mary, I suppose, because she's been there such a long while. She must have been there at the beginning.
I don't know. I've only been there.
I
don't know. Yeah.
Never met her.
Only Jenny knows.
Found a member.
Yeah, 21 years or whatever it is.
So there's the two new people.
There's June is it Corpus, she pronounced her name?
Yeah.
And she's known to some of the North London people. And Diane McClellan, who I think lives in Barnes. I've met her once, I think. I went, there was a show, she's with Richmond Printmakers, I think it was, and I went to a show they did, so I could meet her when she was applying. And they both seem fine, they're both really keen. But I think June does a lot of work that's more kind of 3D, like.
Well, she does do 3D work. She doesn't all her work.
With a print,
but
yeah.
She cuts out and makes it into a 3D thing.
Which I suppose David does. Is it David? English?
No, David doesn't do 3D, does he?
Well, sometimes he collages up, doesn't he?
Oh, right, maybe.
Yes, sort of a theatre effect.
Yeah.
But with June, when she applied, there was this kind of question, how would she display her work? Because we were asking for 9 prints in a portfolio, and she was like, my work looks better when it's framed because I do this kind of layering or whatever.
Her work now. Yeah, it's really intricate.
I don't know how much she'll have in
quite
the
intricate, her work. Yeah, I remember it. I voted for both of them, I think. Yeah, elected them.
Yeah.
Julie, are you there? No, I thought she's not there.
I don't think I've turned it off properly.
I'm going now.
I thought, how can you keep so still for so
It hasn't blinked once. Yeah, so that's
I'm going to end this now.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice
bye
to
guys.
see everybody. Bye.
Lovely to see you.
Feedback on the money that we've received and the options that we've got for, and then everyone can have their say in what they would like to happen with a portion of that money.
Well, right. The money we've received is as of the last statement that I sent, the end of January, which was, we've received 18,097 in grants. The one thing I don't know, and I'm going to have to speak to the accountant, is if we have to pay tax on that money.
No.
We don't, on the grant money. Okay.
No, my understanding is that we do.
I think you do.
Yeah, my understanding is that we do have to pay tax on it. Yes.
So say on that, it's about 3,600 at the moment. But I do expect something from Coin Street at the end of the month. I will be doing the March accounts. And so I'll really know what the year looks like. But say February, we're about £1,000 down. So we're using money. from grant money now. So my view is that really we just need to get back operating to see what will happen. You know, we've had Brexit and COVID, and a lot of our footfall is tourism.
Yeah.
Will they be coming? I mean, we don't know. I suggest maybe give it 3 months.
Yeah.
And see where we are. I don't agree with holding on to a load of money, but also I think we just have to look to see, actually, are we going to have good trade now? We don't know. That's my view. And I know there is a balance, a healthy balance at the moment. I don't know how other people feel about it.
I would agree with you.
Right, can you put your hand up if you want to speak? Yeah, Roy.
Hello. I just
Hello,
joined.
Roy. Did you have something to say?
No, I've just joined. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Barbara.
I just want to say that I totally agree with what Eileen's just said, that we have to see what our footfall is, what type of footfall. And it's true, we do get a lot of people from abroad coming in. So we need to give it a little bit of time to see how it is. I finished.
Right, okay.
Likewise.
Yeah, Hill?
Likewise.
Yeah.
I think it's unwise to start throwing money away before we know whether we're going to get any more.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah. I would agree.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes, I would agree.
What do you think, Steve? Jenny?
Oh yeah, I agree. I just feel for the ones that, probably the ones that are younger, rather than any of the older ones, that perhaps having that money is a bit more important to them. But I do think that we should wait because we don't know what's going to happen.
And we could set a date, say in 3 months' time, I can report to everybody as to what is happening.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
So we have an idea, and then we can think about, doing something with the money and maybe giving people a refund of some sort, reducing the membership fees. At this point, I don't think. I think maybe look in 3 months.
Ketty,
There
what
may
do
be
you
another
think?
lockdown.
Ketty?
Sorry?
You got your hand up, Ketty? Yeah? Yeah, Ketty. Oh, she's gone again.
Hold on, there we go. I can speak. I don't know, there seems to be two different issues at play. Whether you're saying that you're going to pay something out is one thing. What I've been suggesting is a reduction in membership fees. Having looked at the numbers that Eileen gave and last year's figures, like if we're considering keeping going in the gallery, we have the overheads paid for by the grants, by the membership fees we've already paid. I think we have about over 8 months worth of overheads in the bank. So even if we made not a single penny or paid another membership fee, we're not like in a terrible situation. That was my understanding from the figures that I've seen. So I didn't think that reducing the membership fees was that mad, because it doesn't take any money away from the gallery, but it reduces the struggle from people paying into the gallery already have, especially when we're closed. We paid in without receiving the space, but the gallery still survived. It has its overheads paid and will do for nearly a year more, even if we make no money.
Ros, what do you think?
Well, I was just going to say, I think it'll be some time before tourists come back, because the situation in Europe and certainly in the USA, and I know we get quite a few visitors from there that purchase prints, then they might not be coming back for quite some time. And I tend to be a bit of a cautious person, and I just tend to think, I do obviously feel for members and for everyone that's paying out money, and you know, they can't be selling their prints through the gallery at the moment, and it's very tough on so many people. But I think that my opinion, humble opinion, is that the priority should be to ensure that the gallery keeps going. And you know, it might be a little way further along the line that you or anyone could consider giving money out. It's still too early to know. It's very uncertain times, is what I think. And because tourists form quite a big group of people that are buying prints in normal times, I just think it's a bit soon to make a decision. Even in 3 months' time, we don't necessarily know. People might not be coming back yet. That's what I think.
I think.
Yeah. Sorry. Someone.
Me.
Teresa. Teresa.
I think it was somebody else was saying something, but I'm happy to speak now.
No, it's Teresa.
Okay.
Teresa.
Yes. Okay. So, I mean, we've heard from what I'm listening to what people are saying, and I can understand the caution, and I'm sort of in between the two of it, really. I feel like we know that the Greenwich Printmakers have given.
Teresa, I don't think that we're going to share that information yet.
I'm not sharing it.
No, we're going to wait and produce that. You know, thank you, Teresa.
Well,
thank you.
Well,
no, we have
you
to
know,
share.
I mean, it's okay. It's perhaps it's irrelevant anyway. But I mean, I think what Eileen said was quite a good idea. But I think our tourists are really landlocked tourists anyway. There are a lot of British people who come from other parts of the country normally to us, not necessarily that many foreign visitors.
Breaking up, Teresa.
But I'm desperate, and they will be coming to the gallery. So I say with the Eileen, I would, you know, maybe 3 months is quite a long time to wait if you're waiting, if you haven't got any money. You know, if we open in April, what should we, you know, have a look at it every month and just see.
Okay.
Maybe that's my opinion, in my own humble, etc., etc. I'll lower my hand now.
I don't know how you do that, but I've got my own hand up here.
Yes, Hel.
Can I just say that I mean, Ketty's point was to do with the money. She wasn't talking about making handouts, and it's actually a fairly valid point that if you know, if we've got the money, we don't need to be putting it in ourselves all the time, or maybe a little less. But I don't think, just to say that she was saying what her point was, that if we were paying in less rather than paying out to everybody, it's a different thing. Yes. And
yeah,
I
just, yeah.
You know,
thanks, Hill. If we can clarify what we're voting on, it would be good to clear up.
Yeah, I think that, as Teresa was about to say before I slapped her down, we had thought that it's not ideal, but I don't want to do it, but you know, if members would like to have 3 months holiday from paying the subscription, then you know, we could take a vote on that. But the thing is that if we do it for one person, we're doing it for everybody. We're not, there's no exceptions. Everybody gets 3 months, and everybody, you know, if they don't want the money, they can give it to charity or something. But you know, it's like one for all and all for one and all that. Jenny, sorry.
I just want to say, I think from an administrative point of view, having rent-free times where we're not paying our membership, some members won't change their standing orders, some will get behind, the rest of it. And actually to give money back to everybody is probably easier to administer.
Okay, so we do that then. Yeah. So do you want to, is there anyone that has anything else to say on this subject, or do you want to take a vote on it?
Can I
Yeah,
do,
Roy?
yeah, I do apologise for being late. I struggle from North London. So I would suggest that actually it's a lot easier to just say, look, can we everyone pay less for a bit, and then that way you've got the caution where you can actually then put it back up again.
Yeah, but then you have the same problem with everybody with their standing orders, Roy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Change the standing orders. There's still people who haven't changed their standing orders.
Well, they must have recently, because
No.
they're over money. Really?
No,
They haven't, Roy.
They haven't. It takes a long time to get the whole membership to change their standing orders.
Yeah. Trees. Yeah.
What? So some people haven't paid the extra, is what you're saying?
Well, actually, yes, I am saying that, but we have a way. We have ways around it. But you know, it is something that it is a constant problem. So I don't think that altering the standing order would work, really.
No.
No, I don't think so. Because there are people that are not paying the full amount.
If we pay everybody a rebate, we don't pay them anything.
You know, I would rather give people, say, 3 months.
Okay.
Than, you know, having to worry about standing orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alison, did you want to speak, Alison?
Yeah, sorry, I was just explaining to Fiona by email. No, I was late because the registration went wrong and I had to completely re-sign in, join Zoom again. So I've missed a lot of this, but I just did a back of the envelope calculation. If we're talking about 40 members, 3 months, getting back 3 months worth of subs, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's just so we know, that's £3,000. So if we think we can sustain that would leave us enough to sustain us through possibly another lockdown without further injections of cash from the government, which we can't assume would be there, then maybe we should do that. But that's the amount of money we're talking about.
Okay, so should we take a vote on it then?
Peg wants to say something.
Yeah. Oh, Peg, sorry, Peg. Yeah, Peg.
Like that for some time.
Sorry, Peg, I was ignoring you deliberately.
Yeah, I thought you were. I feel like the grant was given to us so that we could keep the gallery going. And because things are still very uncertain, there are third waves happening all over Europe. And yes, the vaccine is being rolled out and things may well improve. But I don't feel that we're in a position yet to be handing £3,000 of that back, particularly if we're going to have to pay tax on what we've been given. So that would be another £3,000 gone from that balance. You know, I recognise that not everyone is in a comfortable position where they can afford to keep paying it, and I do understand that. But handing £3,000 out to the members now feels premature to me.
Okay, so should we take a vote on it? Do you know where your voting buttons are? You can put a little hand up, a yellow button.
No.
So we'll say all those.
So can I clarify what we're voting for?
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going to vote all those. Yeah, all those in favour of. Teresa, do you want to speak? Oh,
I just wanted to clarify what we're voting for.
Yeah, I'm just saying it. All those in favour.
Yes, that's what I said.
All those in favour of
delay.
returning what amounts to 3 months subscription to all the members. If you could put your hand or put your yellow voting button is.
Can't find it.
I can't find it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Three
Look
actions
for
down the
reactions
bottom.
down below.
Just put your hand up like this in front of your screen. All those in favour, put your hand in front of your screen.
Oh, I don't know now.
Teresa, that's 1, 2, 3. Are there any more? So there's only 3 people in favour.
But with a caveat. With a caveat.
What's the caveat, Teresa?
Well, I was just saying, you know, Eileen was saying, can we leave it 3 months, or, you know, can we see how we're going? And I was just thinking, can we just have a look and see how we go when we've opened? Maybe not as much as 3 months, but you know, I mean, I'm agreeable in it in principle, but I want to see how it goes after a month.
Well, this vote is for people who want it now. We're making a
okay. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, sorry. So all those in favour of oh, go away. Not that. Not my computer. God. So all those in favour of returning the money now, your hands up. So basically, we're not in favour of it. So we'll review the situation in when, you know, thinks it's a good idea after we've opened. We'll review it. You know, we're not going to keep the money. We're not seeking to make a profit. Promise you guys. So that's that. So that's that. So the next thing on the agenda was, and I've lost the agenda because my computer crashed.
Gallery opening.
Oh, gallery opening, yeah. So, when are we going to open, guys?
Well, 12th of April is a Monday, so maybe the Tuesday, which would be Jane Libbury, according to the rota.
Right. So, Jane's not here tonight, is she? And she's one of the people that was shielding. So we need to find out if she's still wanting to shield or if she's available for sitting.
I mean, we have the rota apart from open every day, apart from Mondays. Assuming if we have 5 people who are still shielding, we could do that again and just open on the Tuesday. If we've got 10 people shielding, we could open on the Wednesday and just stick with the rota as it goes continually on. So if it wasn't Jane, it would be Jane Daniel on the Wednesday.
Right. Well, I'm happy to start on the Wednesday. That's fine.
Yeah.
What date was that you were saying? What date?
It's the 14th.
14th of April.
Yeah.
Can I just say, we might be in a position where the older people are safer to man the shop than the younger ones. I
You're right, Roy. That'll be you then.
That's true. I mean, the older people will have had both by then. The younger ones will have, the over 50s, shall we say, will have only had one vaccine probably by April.
Yeah, is there anyone here that isn't happy to sit? Go to now, if you're not Hill, you don't have to sit.
Well, I just have one more. I have my oncologist next week talking to me, and then I can find out whether she lets me go. And it's more to do with the transport than actually sitting. So, I mean, mostly I'm all right, and I'm having my second jab on the 1st of April, I think, and hope.
So you'll be good at the end of May at the earliest. So you've got to wait a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I may not be able to immediately, but I am certainly keen to get back to it, to be honest.
I think we should email everyone and say who's not willing to sit and get that sent back to Renata or to Hill, and then just take a decision from there. Maybe open on the Wednesday, and we should have enough to do Wednesday onwards.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think, because it's 5 weeks between. I mean, if I sort of start 5 weeks after you open, I should be all right, really, shouldn't I? It's only one day.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's great then. Yeah, so we can start advertising we'll start doing publicity for the 14th, yeah?
Wednesday the 14th.
Wednesday the 14th.
Yeah.
Are we going to do the slightly shorter hours, which we were doing just before, at least for the first month or so?
I think that's sensible.
Yeah, I think
I think it would be sensible for until the Tate opens and until everything settles down, just to do the slightly shorter hours. And then if it, if there's a lot of interest, people can stay on. But I suspect it'll be slow the first month.
Is that 12 till 4? Is that what we were
12
doing?
till 4, and then I've forgotten what the weekends were. What were they?
They were 10 till 6 on Saturdays. So 12 till 4.
That was 2 shifts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 shifts.
Yeah.
What's it on a Sunday?
Sunday was still 12 till 4, because Sunday is quite dead, really. And just open Wednesday to Sundays.
Can I ask a very specific question, because I somehow ended up being given Fridays in the revised rota, because I normally would sit on a Monday. If there's any chance I could do a different day other than a Friday, I don't mind weekends, but I'm sure.
Ask Renata to ask Renata about that, Peg.
Okay.
There's unless you need to swap. You could swap probably, but if she might be able to fix it for you to do, because you should be able to do your favourite day. It was just that we were short.
I don't mind any day, just that Fridays I have a regular commitment on a Friday afternoon, and then I have to miss it every 4 weeks or 5 weeks.
Roz is leaving. She was on a Tuesday, so you could do that.
Well, I mean, I'm normally on a Monday, but if we're only opening Wednesday to Sunday, then it has to be a different day, and I just would prefer it not to be a Friday. I don't mind any other day.
I was a Friday sitter, and when we go back to normal, I'd like to do Fridays again, but I might want to miss my first sit until I've had my second jab. I don't know if that helps immediately.
I think it's going to make it difficult for Renata, but we just got to put in these requests to Renata and to Hill and see how they can jiggle it, because we've got 2 people leaving, so those can be, that would help shunt around the rota a bit.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Is there anything else about opening that we need to discuss?
I'm just wondering how long that would last then, the Wednesday till.
It's down to how many members are willing to sit. That's how it is.
Okay.
So just start gradually and open up as much as people are confident to come in and sit.
And also, there's nothing to stop us staying on at the gallery if we've got a whole crowd coming in at the end of the day. You don't have to shut immediately at 4 o'clock if you don't want to. You can go on as long as you want to, and if you want to not go on, then you don't. You know, it's not set in stone that. So you know, I've often quite a lot longer because there's suddenly a horde of people come in, and I'm not going to miss the chance to sell something.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, are we still going to ask people to wear gloves, or are we just going to have sanitizer? Because nowhere else has gloves. Lots of places have sanitizer.
Sanitizer is safer than gloves anyway, because gloves are touching on other things. So I think we just have sanitizer at the door. And
the only reason why I think gloves are a good idea is because if sanitizer gets all over the acetates, it makes them very unpleasant. And that was the idea of the gloves in the first place. So I think we will keep the gloves there. And we will say to people, you know, this is why we want people to wear gloves. Because if they're, you know, it really does make them sticky and unpleasant.
But it should just dry in your hands. If you use too much, you just rub them and it evaporates. It's alcohol based, so it shouldn't.
Alison, sorry.
I think that's a lot to do with the brand of sanitizer, and if we get Purell or something like that, it's a non-sticky one. Some of them are very sticky, and some aren't at all and dry really quickly. So if we get one that is a quick dryer, that should be okay. I think gloves probably aren't needed now. The touch thing isn't so important. What's really important is the door open, the social distancing, and keep the screen and masks on.
I mean, I feel like because sanitizer is widely provided in just about every shop that you ever, not that you can go into any at the moment, but you know, people are used to sanitizer and not used to having to put gloves on. And I think we'll get a better uptake if we say, oh, there's a sanitizer there, and we've already got to remind them about masks, although again, that's much better established now than it was. But I feel like the gloves are unnecessary.
Okay. Well, we'll get someone to clean the acetates then, Peg. Acetates, you can clean them as well.
I'll lick them.
I'm happy to order some non-sticky sanitizer if that's going to help.
Well, actually, I've got 2 enormous bottles that I was going to take down before the last lockdown, which I want to get rid of because they're just great. So yes, someone raised their hand. Oh, Barbara, you've got your hand.
Sorry. No, I no comment.
Right, okay, so the next thing is Artists in Focus, which has got thoroughly out of any sort of organisation. Mainly thanks to me, because I did have a system completely, and now I'm just randomly promoting people. So we really need Fiona here, but she sent round a long email, which some of you may have seen.
Yeah.
I think I am next article focus because I was after Alison, so I think I'm next in line.
Yeah.
Who's saying that? I can't see.
Sue Ribbons.
Sue Ribbons.
Yes.
Are you the next person?
I am.
Ah,
yes.
right. Okay.
Officially.
So when do you want to start? Do you want to start on the Monday? On the Monday after after we open?
The 19th. 19th of
the
April.
The 19th would suit me fine.
That's a Thursday.
No, it's a Monday.
Is it? Oh.
I'm looking at my diary now.
Oh, right. Okay.
The 18th is Monday.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're going to start on the 18th?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Mm.
Yeah.
When do we usually do it? Do we usually do the changeover on a Sunday?
Yeah, we usually do the changeover at the end of Sunday, or, you know, to the people sort of cooperate so that they get their full 14 days.
I put it up on a Sunday evening when just after closure.
Yes,
I am quite happy. I would prefer to do it on possibly on the Monday when there's nobody there. Oh,
you can.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I can put it up on the Monday when nobody's there, which is
Okay,
the
that's fine.
19th. Do I hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Liz, sorry, you had your hand up.
Yes, the Artists in Focus begins on a Monday, so it would be the 19th. It's just people switched over on the Sunday because it was easier to get in.
In the days when we didn't have to pay congestion charge.
Yeah. So Sunday, Monday.
Doesn't make any difference now, does it? It's charge all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the 19th.
But
by which time hopefully I will have had my second jab by then, and I shall be flying. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right, anyone got anything else to say about Artists in Focus? Are we all happy? Good.
I can't remember where I am.
Sorry, someone have something?
No, sorry, I can't remember when I am on it. But
I'll send you Fiona will do a new rota.
Yeah.
Fiona will do a new rota and you'll receive it, Roy. Because yeah, so Jenny, do you want to talk about membership now?
Yeah, just quickly. Because we've got Ros and Louise leaving at the end of this month. Although Ros, where are you? In the middle, yeah. I think you're still going to help Nicola with the mini print if that goes ahead, which is nice.
Well, yeah, I offered that, but I think Nicola maybe could say something. Just really thinking we need a.
Well, I was hoping to mention this at some point, but maybe we can have a meeting once the gallery is open, just to see what people are going to do, because I'm really confused with. We hope, but when Ros leaves, she'll have other commitments, and Jane suggested that I may have the new member or members helping with this particular thing, but we're aiming for something in August, but we need to see what's happening. The gallery needs to open. I don't want to divert this meeting because I know it's a complicated subject, but I think at the end of the day, we need a focus meeting just on the mini print. When the new membership has been established, then we can see what we can do, really.
Yeah. Well, it was all I was saying is we might not be saying quite properly goodbye just yet, but then we might be.
It'd be sorry.
It'd be nice to see you, Ros. I mean, I think it's wonderful that Ros is here. I'm not saying she has other commitments, and we need to have a focused approach of who's once Ros has left, because she'll be doing other exhibitions and things. Obviously, she's an artist. You know what is needed and how we're going to do it, but that needs a really good talk, you know, with me, Liz and Jane and the new member, as well as Roz. And we can just discuss how we're going to approach everything. It's a big thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big exhibition. It's going to last for a month, you know. We've got to get it right. And we don't want people sending things in when the gallery isn't open fully, because people will wonder why they've got their work in an exhibition. But I'm sure by then, I mean, being very positive with the roadmap, that things will hopefully take their course in a very positive way, and we'll all be, you know, very happy with our vaccinations, and everything will be getting back to as it was. But we need another meeting really for this.
Yeah, we'll go back, like, talk about that another time. So going back to membership, so we've got the 2 leaving at the end of this month. We've got 2 that were the last 2 on the reserve from the last round, who are starting in April. They're both really excited. One's June Corpus, that a few of you know. And the other one is Diane McClelland, who I've met like once. She's with Richmond Printmakers, and I went along to one of their shows to meet her after she applied. And she's kind of, I don't know, Barnes or somewhere she lives. Anyway, they're starting in April. They'll go into the rota as and when. They're both really excited. Mary's now said that she wants to leave, and if she hands in her 4 months notice, it's the end of July, but she's leaving for health reasons. So if we get somebody sooner, it'd be nice to let her go a bit earlier if she wants to. I've added up, we've had a little bit of interest along the way since the last round, and I've got 4 people who've inquired about membership that I'll get back to. And we've got another 3 that applied, I don't know, but when, not the last round, the one before. And I asked them if they wanted to apply the next round. One was away, one was doing something, I don't know. So I've got 8 altogether. I've got 1 from the last round who didn't get in, she'd like to be asked again. So possible 8 might apply from that lot. But we need to advertise in some way and hopefully guarantee getting about 9 or 10 that are going to apply. So I think, like, I had a quick email exchange with Jane Daniel the other day. So we'll probably start off with just like social media, just say we're looking for new members, and then maybe advertise a bit further. But the difficulty right now, the way I see it, is with all the restrictions still in place and how we interact with people, how exactly we do it. And in the past few rounds, we've asked prospective members to bring in a portfolio and leave them at the gallery so that sitters can look through them, which sort of works. It's the easiest to implement, but once or twice we've done it where we've had a group meeting, like maybe 6 of us on an evening, and gone through portfolios together. Right now, that's not really going to work. We can't have that many together very easily. And then Jane suggested it'd be nice to actually meet prospective members and look through their work, which again, I can just see quite a lot of members feeling they don't want to come in specially. But if we did it that way, I think we'll just have to go through the membership and just say, right, the next X amount of people, you're on this membership round, and if they can't do it, they find somebody to swap with. So I'm not really quite sure how to go ahead with that yet, and possibly I'm not going to go ahead too much until we know for sure we're reopening in April. But we do need to get somebody before Mary leaves. The other thing is that we could also, any members that know somebody who would love to join us, now's the time to tell them that we're looking for members and we'd like to get a reserve, you know, like not just 1 replacement, but it'd be nice to have at least 2 that we can say next time somebody leaves, you're on the waiting list.
Can I suggest we look at people's websites, because people who don't want to come in, we could look at their websites and pass comments from that.
We do try to, because of the members that aren't sitting, we've always said look at the websites as well. Now and again you get somebody who hasn't got a website, which I always think is a bit poor when they're applying to a group like us, but they're on Instagram or something, or they quickly go on Instagram. So that is a possibility. And also the other thing is we need to be sure about skills, because we definitely need somebody who's a bit more IT, what's the word, literate?
Yeah. Yeah,
I do think it's important to see actual mounted prints though, because having fallen down that fallen into that trap before of looking at accepting artists for a different group, but by looking at their websites, and then you see the actual work and the presentation is not what it might be. I think it's important if portfolios can be brought in once we're reopened, so that at least some of us can look when we're sitting. It's so important that the prints are presented well.
But sometimes they are like straight away you look and you just go like, this is what they're showing us, but they want to toy with this. It's just because if we want the work to look good, we want it to be professionally presented, and if it isn't, then I think that's a really important thing for for generating sales, isn't it? If work is not well presented, as well as technically being up to scratch, it's important.
Alison?
Thinking in terms of attracting people who will have the kind of IT skills we want, and what their sort of overall experience and profiles likely to be, is it worth at this stage considering altering the ban on anything digital to a ban on reproductions so that we can allow a digital element?
No.
Alison's asking because she does some digital. I know.
No, because we're a niche.
My work I can't show here because sometimes I include a digital there.
Yeah, but we're a niche. It's our unique selling point. It's our USP that they're all handmade prints.
Yeah. I know. I just thought I'd raise it because it's going to have an effect on the sort of people you're going to be able to attract as future members. Because to anyone under 40, let's say now, they're not going to differentiate. It's just part of printmaking. And I'll leave it there.
What I'd like to say on that subject is that just because you make handmade prints doesn't mean you are not capable of digital understanding.
No, I agree.
That's pretty much the opposite of what I'm saying, actually. If you first look down the other end of the telescope, just because you have a digital element doesn't mean the input is as intricate and as difficult and as hands-on as making it by non-digital means.
Well, actually,
I'm not about making
what
it.
we're trying to avoid though is having glorified or even actual photocopies. I mean, that's
I think the misunderstanding arises because there is still in certain pockets a confusion between reproduction and digital, which is a debate I thought was over about 10 years ago, but it still seems to be rumbling around the place.
This isn't the meeting for that. We've got more things to discuss.
Sorry, Liz?
Meeting to discuss that at the moment. I think we've got more important things to discuss at the moment.
Okay, well, we haven't actually. No, it's like the next thing that Jenny, have you finished?
Sort of, yeah. It's just that if anybody's got any, I mean, I need to find a way of like ascertaining from people what their skills are. And I have got a little application form that I think Liz made up last time, which I'll probably use, but I'm just finding a way of stressing to people to let us know that so somehow we can bring them to the top and hope that their work is nice. But also I'm just thinking, like with this round, given all the restrictions and we don't know at what stage we're all going to be happy rubbing shoulders with each other again, perhaps we ought to just leave the portfolios at the gallery for members to look through for this round. But that whenever they drop thing off, whoever's sitting must try to talk to them and find out a little bit about them, just see how they are, you know.
Jenny, on that form, do you ask them for Instagram and Twitter and those sort of things to see whether they're actually on it? Because that would give us an indication of their sort of digital literacy, wouldn't it?
But we want ideally to have somebody that might be, well, I guess, yeah, that's probably enough. We do when they actually come in, I think I think we asked for their website, and if they haven't got it, what else they've got. So I'll just make sure all that's added in.
Yeah, because if you put all of those, because social media is so important.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Rebecca and I come up against a lot is people not being on those platforms and like we need more people who are on it who will then retweet and join in with that and sort of generate more interest that way. So it would be good if we could recruit people who are already involved like that.
Yeah.
I'm slightly hesitant. I mean, looking through some of the other ones last time, there was, I mean, it was very art school, which is not a bad thing, but they've got to get over that art school thing, and they've got to present properly. And you know, because Michael Barrett, who I had a chat with him, when he's at the RE, he asks for 10, or the RE look for 10 pictures.
Yeah.
He says what he does is he looks at the worst 2.
Okay.
And he thinks, why on earth is this, you know, why on earth have you presented these 2? Is this basically, are these the lucky 8 or something? You know, is this?
Yeah, you've probably got 8, and it's like, what else can I put in? Or just put in videos. So it just shows how long they've been working, really.
And the other thing is if they only have got an art presence on Instagram, I just don't think that's good enough.
I wasn't suggesting it should be only on Instagram.
No, I'm just saying,
not at all.
Not saying you are, Peg. Sorry.
Yeah, some don't have a website, which I just think like they're applying to a group that's more professional, but it is professional to have a website. And I know that we've got members who are a lot older and been with groups like us for a long while, and they're the people like Mary who are leaving, who won't probably have a website or any social media. Everybody younger, you would think they should have something. And
you better get rid of me.
I'm in that group, younger, but I'm not young. But
well, you better get rid of me immediately.
Who's that? Who said that?
It's Barbara.
Barbara. No, Barbara.
I'm a complete Luddite. I don't like any of that sort of stuff, and I'm not interested in it. I cannot engage in it in any way.
You've disappeared.
I couldn't. Barbara, you are our USP as well. You are forgiven everything.
But I'm just saying, no, but also it's just like the ones that are applying to start with groups like us tend to be that little bit younger.
You're telling me.
But then you've been with Southbank for, I don't know, well before I joined.
A long time. No, not that long before. No, but anyway, I have been a long time. Yeah.
But anyway, we do.
Liz, yes, you're trying to speak. Liz is trying to speak. Hi, Jane.
I couldn't find June Corpus's website, the one that's joining us. She doesn't have a website.
Well, I don't know. That's odd.
She's only with Hampstead School of Art.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised.
Instagram. She's on Instagram. I mean, a lot of the younger ones won't have a website because they'll just be going on Instagram and other things. So that's the way it goes. I mean, having a website is like, you know, people don't really bother with it anymore.
I disagree. I think you need a website. You want to be taken seriously as an artist, and if you want to be you should have a website. I'm surprised she doesn't, because she seems quite a good talented artist.
Could I ask Jenny? Sorry, it's Nicola. When are the 2 new members joining?
April.
Oh, they are.
They'll start their membership in April, and then they'll be fitted into the rota wherever it's appropriate. So their first sit might not be April, but they're going to start in April.
Okay.
And also going back to the website thing, I'm just remembering one membership round we had. There was that one guy, and I said, "Have you got anything online?" And he didn't have anything. So he immediately opened Instagram and just kept piling loads of images on Instagram, and it was like, yeah.
So I want to ask Liz.
Yeah.
Can you allocate June to Nicola?
Okay.
Print. Because I know that she's very organisational, and I think that would,
All right.
yeah. So I mean, if you make a point of that, as long as
you recommend
it, and then that gives Nicola someone to work with.
Yeah.
Can we have a meeting? I'll email you.
Yeah, we will.
At some point,
Yeah, we will.
And then we can talk about what each person will do.
Yeah.
So we could just like an organised structure.
I can
thing.
send you all my notes and forms from last
Thank
time.
you. Thanks for that.
Okay, so Jenny, is that it?
I think that's all. Yeah, and we still charge 15 quid to apply. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would be fair to put it up.
Yeah, and I think we'll just wait until we're sure when we're reopening, and then start pushing through Facebook and all the social media.
Yeah.
And any members, we'll just like put it in the minutes. If members know anybody in their other groups or whatever that they're with that would love to join us, to let them know, and they can get in touch direct with me if they like, so I can put them down on the list.
Jenny, how many people do you need to have in reserve?
Well, as many as possible. See what I mean? We've got Mary definitely leaving. Maureen started muttering about she doesn't know how long she will hang on for, and she's not been in the best of health in the last couple of years or so. She's still doing sits, but she has to get a taxi in and that kind of stuff. So it's nice to try to get at least 2 or 3, and it just depends on how the voting goes, really. If there's nobody suitable, we don't have reserves, but if there's quite a few suitable, we have them on the reserve, and the chances are they will want to join still when their name comes to the top of the list, but time might move on and they might not want to, so you don't know. I think we had one reserve last time who, when I said to her, do you still want to join, and about, I don't know, 6 months or so gone past, and she didn't. Her health had taken some knocking and she had got something else that she was doing and she didn't want to join, so fair enough.
Yeah, but you need 3 and plus.
It's nice to have 3, I think.
Plus a couple in reserve if possible.
Well, we've got Teresa, we've got 2 members, new members starting in April, so it's only one that we definitely need.
Okay.
At the moment.
Right.
So Kevin and Jane and Julie have all just joined us. So
Julie, couldn't work out who it was.
We've talked about paying money back to members as a result of the grants that we've received, and we took a vote, and only 2 people wanted to have money paid back. We decided to open the gallery as long as everything goes well. My sit on the 14th, unless you want to open on the 13th, Jane. Are you going to be shielding or sitting?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, because there is Jane Stothert and various other Janes.
Sorry, Jane.
Oh, you're the other Jane, yes. On the 13th. Hang on. So when is that? That's not this
Tuesday after the 12th.
In April.
In
yes,
April,
yeah. Why not?
So we could actually open on the 13th.
So that's on the Tuesday, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Hello. There is people trying to. I've told Maureen the number over the landline, and Kevin and Fiona are stuck. It's taken me all this time to get in. On Facebook.
Well, Julie, we should all be asking you for your autograph.
Yes.
A special media presence.
I know. I'll try again. I've tried Jeremy Vine. He's not much good. I'll go back to Joe Good.
I like Jeremy.
I can't find Jeremy Vine. I have to turn him off immediately.
Oh. I just
He's
like,
not the one that
Louis
talks to
Dixon.
dysfunctional couples, is he? Or... No, that's another Jeremy, isn't it?
No, that's Jerry Springer.
Kyle. Jeremy Kyle.
I could try him as well. I haven't got
Yes, why not? I'm in a very dysfunctional cooperative. Only joking. I don't think we're dysfunctional.
So then we talked about Artist in Focus, and Fiona's going to reissue the rota, And the net is starting with Sue Ribbons on the 18th or 19th. I can't remember what you decided.
I think I'm going in on the 19th.
Yeah. So Jenny's talked about membership, and we're going to have portfolios brought in because we've got Mary, Ros, and
Louise.
Who else?
Louise,
yeah, who are leaving. And so we only have like one more thing on, which is not really for now. Teresa, why have you got a big heart on your thing?
It was an act. I'm on my mobile, so I'm not as familiar with it. Just put that thumb on it.
Oh, I wondered why you had this big heart.
I thought
it's
she
for
loved
you,
it.
Jane. It's for you.
Yeah, so then we were going to talk about improvements to the gallery down the line. It might be premature to talk about them. I wanted to talk about them because I thought we were going to be talking about money going out of the account. But as money isn't going to be going out of the account, I think it's too early to talk about what we do if we find we have any left. Does anyone have anything they want to say on that?
I'd like a step. If there's any money left, I'd like a step, which I've been going on for years about, but I'd like a long step.
But there is one.
There's only half a one. We cut it in half. We need a long one for the summer.
Hang on,
what
sorry.
happened to the other half?
It got lost. I think that we should ask Martin if he would do that, or one of the people that are, there's Martin and Peter and Sean who are on the repair team.
Hello?
Joe, hello Joe.
I'll have to ring you back. I'm zooming at the moment. Okay, bye. Bye.
Oh, I thought you were going to be on the radio.
Yeah, so yeah, does anyone else have any ideas about how we might achieve a long step other than asking Martin or Peter or Sean?
But Julie said that Kevin would do it if you gave him a piece of wood. He would make it. So
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure he would again. But I mean, why do we really need it, Julie? Because we've got half a step and that's fine for a pram, etc.
I think that's too dangerous. I think you can trip easily if there's about 2 people coming in at once, or, you know, I think you need a long one for the summer and half a one. It's a trip hazard and we don't want anyone.
It was our long one, but then in the winter you didn't want to have both doors open, and you can't close it onto it. So whatever you have, you can't actually close the doors onto it because the doors hit it, and so it has to be only the doors open. And if you don't have the doors open, you've got to take it away because you can't close the doors otherwise, because that's the nature of it. It is such a low step, and so that's why we cut it in half. Originally I got it made by one of the guy who made things at the Oxo, whatever it was, you know, maintenance department or something.
Kevin.
And then what?
Kevin.
Yes, that's the one. And then in the winter we you know, it was a problem because you couldn't shut the other door, and so he cut it in half for us. But I don't know what happened to the other half. I thought we'd held on to the other half, but it seems to have disappeared. And so otherwise we could have had 2 halves there. But
Alison?
But that's what you have to take into consideration. If you make another one, you have to make the fact that it is very shallow, the step, and so you know you need to be able to shut the doors when you want to shut the doors.
Well, if we have a long one and a short one, then we've got one for winter and one when both doors are
open. Absolutely. But also the long one was, a lot of people couldn't lift it because it was quite heavy, and they had trouble maneuvering it. So, you know, that is something that you have to take into consideration as well, not use a too heavy a lump of wood, really, I guess. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
I mean, I think the awning's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, Martin's wife tripped over on such a step and smashed up, I don't know, her leg and her arm, and had a really bad accident at the London Underground or somewhere. He tells this story, and I think it is a very dangerous step because it's not a big